From 2019 to 2025, more than 47% of European cars sold in the US had dependability ratings below average. Before 50,000 miles, several failed. According to Consumer Reports, we're revealing the top 17 European cars that you will regret purchasing. See it through to the conclusion. Additionally, we'll disclose which ones are really worthwhile purchasing. First up is the Jaguar F-Pace at number 17. With its sleek bodywork, luxurious interior, and traditional British style, it seems to be a luxury dream on the outside. However, there are already concerns about the 2025 Jaguar F-Pace behind the badge. It's easy to see why Consumer Reports awarded it a projected dependability score of 30 out of 1. Transmission hesitancy, infotainment system failures, and ongoing electrical issues, particularly with the navigation and driving assistance systems, are among the most frequent complaints. With an average yearly repair cost of $1,123, Jaguar is ranked 29th out of 32 brands for dependability by RepairPal. Battery drain problems within the first 6 months have been noted by owners on Jaguar forums, which is a nightmare for an SUV with so much technology. Some drivers have reported jerky acceleration and delayed throttle response even with the P250 and P400 powertrains. Not to mention depreciation. In only 5 years, the F-Pace loses about 48% of its value, according to Kelley Blue Book. That is a premium price tag that has been returned to the discount bin. Wait till you hear what Volkswagen introduced in their first electric car if you believe that's terrible for a company like Jaguar. Number 16 is the Volkswagen ID. Now, I hoped VW would win this one. Despite its lofty goals, their first completely electric SUV for the US market has been a technological disaster from the start. A slow, sluggish infotainment system, software glitches, and charging issues have plagued the 2021 ID. According to owners, the car either stops charging in the middle or refuses to charge at level 2 stations. It received a projected dependability rating of 1 out of 5 from Consumer Reports. It doesn't get much worse than that. This model is a major factor in the large number of software-related complaints that Power's first quality analysis identified for Volkswagen. Owners in the real world claim that over-the-air upgrades don't address the primary problems. Over a year later, some people are still waiting for repairs. And then there's the experience of drive screens freeze, the car slows while accelerating, and fundamental functions like the temperature control malfunction. Yes, it has a contemporary appearance, but the ride is irritating below. Wait till you hear what Polestar accomplished next. If you believe this was an isolated incident, we have the Polestar 2 at number 15. To be honest, I was very excited about this one. An EV with a sleek appearance from Volvo's performance brand. It sounds fantastic, but in practice, it has only caused problems. Unpredictable shutdowns, touchscreen lockups, and malfunctioning driving assistance features are already being reported by owners. Some claim that the car suddenly illuminates its warning lights and then resets as if nothing had occurred. It's hazardous in addition to being obnoxious. The 2025 model has a projected dependability rating of 25 out of 100 from Consumer Reports. Additionally, a number of recalls have already been issued due to problems with inverter, battery software, and malfunctioning seatbelt warnings. For a new car, that's a lot. Owners mention abrupt range decreases on forums, particularly during cold weather. What about the billing process? At best, inconsistent. It connects sometimes and disconnects occasionally. In the US, Polestar's support system is also lacking. It's difficult to obtain service if it breaks down. It's a beautiful car with brilliant concepts, but it was ruined by hasty implementation. Speaking about unsatisfactory plugins, just wait until you see what BMW has been having trouble with. The plug-in hybrid BMW X5 comes in at number 14. Although it seems to be a high-end SUV with intelligence and strength, the 2024 model is really rife with issues. Drivers are already experiencing charging issues, powertrain issues, and failures of hybrid systems. According to one owner, their X5 abruptly lost power while traveling on the highway, necessitating a risky halt. The NHTSA began looking into electrical system defects as a result of that occurrence. In early 2024, BMW recalled more than 14,000 cars due to a defective battery control unit. The car may not start, or worse, could stop in the middle of the road if that component fails. It received one of the lowest ratings ever from Consumer Reports, 5 out of 100, mostly due to engine and hybrid battery pack failure. According to RepairPal, the average annual cost of BMW repairs is $1,000. When you combine jerky gear changes with infotainment issues, this SUV becomes more annoying than useful. If you're looking for a reliable plug-in SUV, consider the Lexus RX Hybrid. It's far simpler to live with, more dependable, and more efficient. BMW is not alone. However, the next midsize SUV from VW has a lengthy list of issues of its own. The Volkswagen Touareg is number 13. In theory, it ought to be a high-end SUV that rivals Audi and BMW, but in practice, it has been a silent disappointment. The significant problems with the air suspension in the 2022-2025 models have resulted in uneven rides and expensive repairs. Within the first year, owners have also experienced engine misfires, dead 12-volt batteries, and infotainment crashes. VW recalled thousands of Touaregs in 2023 due to a serious safety defect with the rear seatbelt anchor. The diesel models are still impacted by emissions cheating software, according to a different class action case in Europe. Yes, repairs are still a headache years after Dieselgate due to part shortages and poor dealer service. Additionally, its resale value rapidly declines despite its price tag. Do you want something smoother and safer? Choose the GX from Lexus. It has greater value, is more reliable, and has stronger support in the US. Hit the like button if you've ever thought of purchasing a Touareg or any other car on this list. It enables more drivers to see this video before they make a poor choice. If you've owned one of these models, please share your thoughts in the comments section. To ensure you don't miss the remainder of the countdown, remember to subscribe. Next up is a sleek, fast-looking BMW EV that brakes even quicker. The BMW iX, which is number 12, was meant to be BMW's response to Tesla, back to BMW and back to turmoil. However, it has become a costly nuisance for many owners. First, the fundamentals. The price of this EV exceeds $85,000. However, several drivers have complained of unexpected infotainment freezes, sporadic power outages, and charging issues that leave them stuck. It had poor dependability ratings from Consumer Reports, particularly during its initial model year. BMW recalled 4 iX units in July 2025 because of the potential for battery fire, a major defect in electric cars. In Europe, deceptive range estimations have sometimes resulted in legal action. Many owners report that they only get 250 miles in real-world driving, which is far less than the 300 miles claimed. Basic service is sluggish as well. Not every BMW dealer has the necessary skills to service these high-voltage systems. Desire a high-end electric SUV that doesn't work, really? Give the Genesis GV60 a try. It's less dramatic, quicker, and less expensive. Let's change our focus to a little car with significant issues. The Mini Cooper comes in at number 11. The Mini Cooper easily deserves a place on our list of problematic European cars, given it is already included among the worst cars you can purchase in the US. According to Consumer Reports, the 2019 Mini Cooper has one of the lowest dependability ratings in its class, particularly when it comes to issues with the engine, cooling system, and electrical system. Additionally, there are more than 1 or 2 owners. The majority of the more than 120 complaints the NHTSA has received about this model year have focused on stalling, poor throttle response, and sporadic electrical problems. Additionally, RepairPal indicates that Mini's average yearly repair expenses are over $850, which is excessive for such a little car, and JD Power graded it below average reliability. Premature clutch wear and oil leakage at less than 50,000 miles are frequent complaints. These are not inexpensive solutions, and many customers experience them after their warranty expires. The 2019 model was the subject of 2 significant recalls. Seldom do dealers alert purchasers to the poor long-term dependability. It may be fashionable, but the Mazda 3 is also, and it will last for many years. However, the Porsche that follows demonstrates that dependability cannot be purchased with 6 figures. It's the Porsche Taycan at number 10. It is energetic, svelte, and quick. However, there are several hassles hidden behind that 6-figure ticket tag. Taycan has appalling expected dependability ratings from Consumer Reports, particularly for the 2023 and 2024 versions. White owners have complained about software bugs, electrical system problems, 12-volt battery problems, and even power outages while driving. For a car that can cost more than $150,000, it's not a nice appearance. Given how owners often push them to the edge, Porsche issued many recalls in 2023 alone, including one for a shutdown danger brought on by a defective Porsche. Things worse due to Taycan's erratic charging performance and numerous dealer visits for software upgrades that haven't resolved the problems. A number of owners have entered class action lawsuits. It brakes like a rocket, even if it accelerates like one, instead of the Taycan. Think about the BMW i4 if you're spending that much money. It has a 5 out of 5 owner satisfaction rating and an 82 reliability score. Meet the Alfa Romeo Stelvio/Giulia at number 8. Without a doubt, these Italian beauties draw attention. Turbocharged power, sleek design, and that alluring Alfa badge. It's anarchy behind the wheel, however. In terms of expected dependability, The Stelvio and Giulia often placed close to the bottom, according to Consumer Reports. And it's everything, not just one thing. Gremlins that are electric, sporadic stalling, water leaks, brake problems, and infotainment malfunctions. Nearly 20,000 Alfa Romeos were the subject of a significant NHTSA recall in 2022 due to a fuel gauge issue that might lead the cars to abruptly run out of petrol while being driven. Dealers struggle to get parts, which results in lengthy repair periods and a sharp decline in resale value. Within 3 years, the Giulia loses over half of its value, according to CarEdge. Consider the Audi A4 or Genesis G70 if you want the same athletic feel without the hassle. They are efficient, sophisticated, and above all, effective. The Volkswagen Taos comes in at number 7. Volkswagen has previously suffered setbacks on this list with the Catastrophic and the ID4. Unfortunately, the Taos is just another failure from the same family. It's not the exception, particularly the 2022 model. Affordability and German engineering were combined in this subcompact SUV. What did drivers get in its place? A nightmare of weak throttle response, stalling, and transmission breakdowns. What's the worst? The majority of these issues appear prior to 30,000 miles. The Taos' engine stalls while idle or slowing down, which has led to many service advisories. According to customer reviews, it had 1 out of 5 owner satisfaction ratings and a 20 out of 100 dependability rating. Additionally, users reported that the dual-clutch gearbox hesitates and jerks, particularly in urban traffic. The Taos' shortcomings are even more fundamental than the ID4's glitchy software or the Touareg's deteriorating build quality, its drivability. This just doesn't seem smooth or secure. The Mazda CX-30 and Toyota Corolla Cross are far better options if you're looking for a compact SUV that won't make you regret buying it. Next up was a high-end EV that seemed to be the future, but soon broke down. We have the Audi Q8 e-tron at position 6. In an attempt to spark interest, Audi renamed the previous e-tron SUV the Q8 e-tron. However, rather than advancement, the problems remain the same, although at a larger cost. Although the Tesla Model X and BMW iX at least provide performance and range, the Q8 e-tron falls short of those two EVs. Under ideal circumstances, the real-world range is often less than 240 miles. You'll be fortunate to reach 200 in cold weather. Additionally, the charging pace is disappointing. Additionally, the inside technology seems outdated for a premium SUV that costs more than $75,000. According to reviews, it resembles a 2019 model with a new emblem. Even worse, problems with the battery seal that might let moisture into the pack have forced Audi to issue recalls. A severe worry about durability and security. You would expect more at this price. The Lexus RZ or even the Rivian R1S are excellent examples of electrified luxury. Now we've reached the top 5 worst European cars. The Mercedes-Benz EQ e-SUV, which was slated to be the company's future electric luxury SUV, comes in at number 5. Rather, it is now a red flag for early users of electric cars. The most significant problem? Software. Numerous users complain about glitches, stalling displays, malfunctioning driving assistance, and non-functioning Bluetooth. The machine even rebooted in the middle of the disk. It's hazardous in addition to being obnoxious. The range comes next. Mercedes says it can go up to 279 miles. Testing in the real world, even before accounting for cold weather reductions, it's more like 230. Mercedes had many recalls in 2023, including one for malfunctioning high-voltage batteries and another for rear-view camera failure. These are serious issues for a car that begins at $80,000. The design seems incomplete, even among reviewers who like it. Expensive, unsatisfactory, and annoying to possess. Consider the Genesis GV70 EV if you want an electric car that causes less stress. It has higher reviews, is more dependable, and is less expensive. The Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV, which came in at number 4, promised electric domination, ultra-luxury, and cutting-edge technology. What did the purchasers get instead? A disappointment of a $100,000 or more. Let's start with the construction quality. Owners have complained about misaligned panels, groaning trim, and cheap-feeling plastics inside a car that should be as refined as a Rolls-Royce. The infotainment system with a hyper-screen, beautiful to look at, definitely. However, it is unreliable, too complex, and distracting while driving. In terms of performance, it lacks the driving confidence you would anticipate from a Mercedes and is heavy and slow in turns. Furthermore, real-world findings often dip below 270 miles, particularly in colder areas, even though the EPA claims a range of up to 305 miles. Mercedes was forced to conduct several recalls in 2024, including one for a rear seat restraint flaw and another for defective battery management software. Not what you're looking for in a premium SUV for the family. Avoid this if you're shopping within this budget. And instead look at the Kia EV9. Hey, you've probably noticed something by now. There's a reason why electric cars are at the top of this list. The dealership won't disclose software glitches, hidden issues, or brittle parts until it's too late. The Land Rover Defender comes in at number 3. Land Rover never lets you down. Consumer Reports and J.D. Power have both criticized the Defender for its frequent and expensive problems, which have resulted in dismal dependability ratings, from suspension issues and leaking body seals to electrical gremlins. Not to mention the entertainment system, which is sluggish, unresponsive, and prone to crashes while driving. Due to a significant fire hazard posed by fuel line separation, more than 15,000 units were recalled, and a few months later, a second recall was issued due to improper seatbelt locking mechanisms. What is the most painful? This object has an amazing, tough, contemporary, and iconic appearance. On the inside, however, it's a money hole with faulty software, oil leaks, and regular repair visits. Do you want off-road capabilities without the hassles? Choose the Ford Bronco or Toyota Land Cruiser. In fact, they will ensure that you return from the journey unscathed. And now, a car that gave people hope in electric cars before severely disappointing them. The Land Rover Discovery, often known as the LR4, comes in second. The Discovery carried that heritage into the repair shop if the Defender proved faulty. An infotainment system that aged like milk, leaky water pumps, turbocharger troubles, cooling system failures, and a long list of other faults plagued this model. Nor is it only anecdotal. It has a poor dependability rating from RepairPal, and owners have essentially created a support club on forums dedicated to repairing these cars. A number of recalls involving defective driveshaft nuts and powertrain problems affected many years of this model. Furthermore, the construction quality was at best inconsistent despite the upscale branding. Common concerns included squeaky trim, cheap inside plastics, and broken electronics. A Lexus GX or Acura MD might be a better choice for you. PX. If you want long-lasting, tough luxury, there's no surprise in the following one. The worst of the bad, the Fiat 500X, comes in first. In slow motion, this subcompact crossover was a complete bust. Fiat attempted to use SUV style to Americanize Italian flair, but the result was a clumsy, expensive disaster. This was a difficult sell from the beginning due to persistent transmission problems, slow performance, malfunctioning electronics, and uncomfortable riding. The market took note, sales fell off. The 500X was formally retired in the United States as of 2023, and Fiat's selection in the country shrank to only one model. Yes, you can no longer even purchase a new one. Fiat just given up. Its expected dependability was terrible, according to Consumer Reports. JD, it was rated by Power. Reviewers criticized it for having antiquated technology, a small location, and expensive prices when compared to more reliable competitors. It also performed badly in terms of both initial quality and long-term reliability. If you're looking for a fashionable little SUV, steer clear of this Italian joke and choose a Subaru Crosstrek or Chevrolet Trailblazer.